Chairman Garbarino, Ranking Member Swalwell, members of the subcommittee, 15 years ago, Stuxnet proved cyber attacks could cause physical destructions. Attacks on OT networks are under sustained and sophisticated assault from our adversaries today. I'm Robert Lee, CEO of Dragos, a former Air Force officer in NSA, and now serving since the last time we all met in this committee in my role in Lieutenant Colonel in the Army Guard, designing out OT defense strategies. I spent my career protecting these industrial systems that power our society. Let me be blunt, we are not prepared for a major attack on our critical infrastructure. We know that such an attack would be part of any major conflict with an adversary, but we are not doing enough to prepare, and the results of continued failure could be catastrophic, including the loss of life. At Dragos, we track over 25 state and non-state actors that target operational technology directly. 9 different malware families have been built specifically for industrial systems. The most versatile is very opposite to Stuxnet. Where Stuxnet was very, very targeted, Pipedream can be used against everything from unmanned aerial vehicles to water systems to power systems. Increasingly homogeneous machinery and technical systems have increased the OT attack surface and raised the potential consequences of a large-scale attack. But defense is doable. One example, Littleton Electric in Massachusetts used a federal grant to install our technology on the network after FBI intel indicated to them that they were being targeted by Volt Typhoon. We detected, isolated, and mitigated the attack with their partnership. They were able to do this because they had visibility in their OT networks and they were proactive in their security. Most companies don't do this. We know what works. Here are a few things that I recommend that we can do. First, we must stop treating OT like IT. These systems have different risks and require different defense strategies. Hearings like this one are critical to raise awareness of this distinction. A significant portion of the funding and resourcing in the community goes to IT, whereas the critical part of critical infrastructure is OT. Second, make public-private partnerships count. At Dragos, we uncovered Pipedream in coordination with the NSA and an undisclosed third party. We ended up coordinating with CISA and the electric ISAC, and that allowed us to warn operators before the adversary was even allowed to deploy it against targets across the United States. Broad, unfocused information sharing efforts, though, do not work. Targeted, focused coordination does. Third, we must streamline federal guidance. Right now, too many agencies are sending too many messages, many of which are overlapping and often contradictory to our industry. We have to tell the industry, here's the threat, here's what success looks like, but we have to let them handle the how. Fourth, we have to let the private sector lead on technology. We already have the tools to detect advanced threats. Federal efforts to replicate them just waste money and slow adoption. Fund deployment, not reinvention. Government should focus on over-the-horizon threats. Fifth, secure the supply chain. Critical infrastructure vendors must meet real security standards. Right now, all of the focus is placed on asset owners and operators and not the vendors. Asset operators and their vendor community should share responsibility for meeting basic security requirements for all the components that are installed into our critical infrastructure. Even the security vendors. As a CEO of Dragos, I'm surprised that I have the amount of flexibility I do to make willfully poor security choices to increase my margins. Though we have not done that and would not do that, I'm surprised by the ability of CEOs to make that decision. I believe we need higher standards and more selectivity into who can sell into critical infrastructure and how. Finally, we need to fix federal response coordination. Most operators simply don't know who to turn to call after an incident or what they'll get in response, and responses differ across state lines, and there's no basic credentialing for who shows up and what they can do. We simply know what needs to be done, and it's time to stop standing in our own way. Our kids' lives depend on it. To close, our adversaries are gaining ground, but we have the tools, the knowledge, and the people to win. Now we need large-scale execution in the public and private sectors. We know what needs to be done, we just need to do it.